who I believe are the 10 best players in this game. And number one is not a big shock. I think it's Patrick Mahomes, who was not necessarily great against Houston. But I've said this with MJ. There are certain players in these big moments that are not burdened by pressure. It's almost as if Mahomes needs the playoff intensity to elevate himself. 9 consecutive postseason wins. He's number one. I think number two, it's the historic Saquon Barkley. When he went to Philadelphia with that O-line, we said, folks, the Giants have just made a franchise mistake that is egregious. 14 games this year with 100-plus rush yards. Now, obviously, some of that is the offensive line. He's just different. He's just a different player. Running backs are hard to describe because all the great ones have had stylistically kind of a different bent. Speed, ability to make you miss, jump over, through. Saquon Barkley at 2. I would put Chris Jones number 3. When you're a defensive lineman and can move anywhere on the defensive line and you're unblockable on the end, you're unblockable on the interior. He was the highest graded interior defensive lineman this season, including the playoffs. You know, remember when they weren't sure if they were going to pay Chris Jones? And I believe the future of the NFL, you're seeing this a lot, is teams will pay one great defensive lineman, but pay most of the money on offense. Chris is number 3 for me. Number 4 is, I think Jalen Carter is virtually unblockable. He's not Chris Jones in terms of consistency yet, but he led the team in pressures, tackles for loss, quarterback hits, and he's got an Aaron Donald vibe, which you have to start your offensive game plan with, okay, how do we get Jalen Carter out of the picture? I'd put him at 4. Jordan Mailata, the highest graded offensive tackle, I would put him at 5. We'll get to Tooney in a second. I would put Jordan Mailata, who was the highest graded tackle in the regular season. Now listen, Philadelphia's offensive line, they do offensive lines really, really well. And so you could do multiple players on this, including Lane Johnson. But I think, only 2 sacks allowed this year and only 1 during the regular season in 500 opportunities to pass block. So, and you remember, you're blocking the best athlete, some would say, on the defense. Number 6, Joe Tooney. He's the best pass-blocking left guard in football. Again, when Kansas City went and spent that money in New England, right, and they went and bought him, everybody said, whoa, that is a lot for a guard. Well, they moved this guy due to injuries out to left tackle. He's elite at left tackle as well. And I do believe that Tooney and the ability to protect Mahomes has only lost 1 game ugly in his life in the playoffs when he didn't get protection against Tom Brady in Tampa. I think number 7 is A.J. Brown. Again, you sometimes forget how good Philly's wide receivers are because they're such a power run game. But he was top 10 in missed tackles. And I think his physicality is really important because I think Kansas City is the best tackling team in the league. That's just an eye test. I don't have data to back that up, but A.J. Brown is number 7. 8, Trent McDuffie, Kansas City. Tremendous corner. 2nd highest graded cornerback during the regular season. Again, they're going to put him on A.J. Brown and say, I think you have to. With Devontae Smith, A.J. Brown, Dallas Goedert, you're going to have some one-on-one matchups, and that's one Kansas City has to win. I would put Zach Bond at 9. The guy's unbelievable. He was a special teams player. He's tremendous in coverage. I think he's one of the surprise players of the year. In pass coverage this year, this is such a great stat. He's allowed a 69 passer rating. That's about as good as a linebacker can do. And number 10, Jalen Hurts. Again, when you put pressure on Jalen Hurts, he regresses significantly. But here's the thing. It's hard to get pressure on Jalen Hurts because of the O-line in the run game.
Hi, everybody. It's me, Uncle Colin. Subscribe here to get the latest from the herd, including exclusive behind-the-scenes videos and more, wherever you may be, however you may be watching. Thanks again for making us part of your day.